Finally, the long-awaited day has arrived. Many people called it a trip of a lifetime. My experience was also the same at the end of the trip. We had started our journey from Bangalore with an Air Arabia flight via Sharjah. We had arrived in Nairobi in the afternoon. We had booked a stay near the airport through Airbnb, and Nairobi National Park was visible from the balcony. After we checked in, we went straight to the balcony. The excitement we felt when we saw zebras, wild beasts and ostriches from the balcony is hard to describe. We had some snacks, took some rest, and then went out for dinner to the most popular restaurant in Nairobi, the Carnivore. We tried some unusual meats like crocodile, ostrich and oxball. Both the food and the atmosphere were great. Our guide cum driver, Joseph, arrived early next morning with a Land Cruiser to pick us. He was with us for the next 5 days as we explored the national parks of Kenya. We arrived at Amboseli National Park in the afternoon. Our stay at Amboseli was just outside the park gate. We had finished lunch and then we started for our jungle safari until the evening. Unfortunately, we missed the view of Kilimanjaro in Amboseli due to cloudy weather. The next day, we had checked out of our campsite very early in the morning, in the dark. The campsite people had packed the breakfast for us. After 3 hours of game drive in Amboseli, we left for Lake Nakuru at 9 am. We had our packed breakfast on the way. We had lunch in a small town beside the highway. We stopped at Rift Valley Viewpoint on our way. We reached Lake Nakuru at 6 pm due to heavy traffic on the road. We did only 20 or 30 minutes of game drive in Lake Nakuru on that day before checking into Lake Nakuru Lodge inside the national park. After a hearty breakfast and a packed lunch box, we checked out of our hotel at 7 am next day. We did a game drive of 2.5 hours in Lake Nakuru before starting for Masai Mara National Park. We took the Mao Road and Narok Sekenani Road way to Masai Mara from Lake Nakuru, which is very scenic and beautiful. After stopping by a Masai village on the way, we got to Masai Mara National Park at 2 pm. We checked into our hotel, Mara Serena Lodge, inside the Mara Triangle at 6 pm after completing the game drive for the day. We also did a night safari organized by Mara Serena Lodge from 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. We had a full day today, going on a game drive in Masai Mara and eating lunch in the jungle. Sundowner was arranged for us by the lodge, which was about 15 minutes away from the property, in the middle of a jungle and under an open sky. We had a nice time seeing the sun setting on the horizon as many animals returned to their homes before dark. We also had a bush dinner at 7 p.m. organized by the lodge. We started our game drive at 6 a.m. and reached the Mara River at 8:30 a.m. where breakfast was served for us. They called this the breakfast at Hippo Pool. We left the jungle exit gate at 10:30 a.m. to catch our evening flight to Mombasa in Nairobi. The next morning, we hired a self-drive car and spent the entire day beach hopping around the area. Our stay was at the Saroba White Sand Beach Resort in Mombasa. On our second day in Mombasa, we crossed the river and tried exploring other parts of the area. We took the train from Mombasa to Nairobi early in the morning. This train journey was memorable through the national park. Seeing the animals from the window was an entirely different experience. We arrived in Nairobi in the afternoon and checked into the same Airbnb, where we can see wild animals in the national park from our balcony. After taking some rest, we went out to explore Nairobi and had dinner at a Brazilian restaurant called Fogo Gucho. We woke up late the next morning, checked out of our hotel and drove to the Nairobi airport to catch our flight back to our home in Bangalore.